Welcome to DraftTeam.com. I am Joshua Johnson. It is time to go bargain hunting once again. We are at week 7 of the NFL season. There's been a couple weeks where I've told you run away from Sam Bradford. You know what? I am finally a believer. I know he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but he made some great completions. He threw for 3 touchdown passes. He just threw the ball really well and did what he needed to do to make his team successful. They host the Carolina Panthers this week. Bradford's kind of pricey at $14,600, but I look for him to have another good game in the Dome in St. Louis. Any dome is not a very easy place to come into. And let's face it, Cam Newton is not Peyton Manning going back to Indy. This is a struggling team in Carolina. They never have string consistent wins together, so I really like the St. Louis to be led by Sam Bradford in this game and do some good things. No Sean Marino can be had for $12,600. He's becoming just a very good player, a very reliable player, a very good goal line player as well for this team. And he catches passes. So you remember, guys, half point per reception, so you can't discount that. Steven Jackson can be had for $9,400. He's still questionable, but I like him. Okay. So make sure that you check, if you put him on your team, make sure that you check before Sunday's game that he's going to be out there. But you know what? I like him going forward. Atlanta really has nothing else in this game besides Harry Douglas. So if Jackson plays, he's going to be healthy and he's going to be involved. So look for Jackson at $9,400. Justin Blackmon can be had for $9,500. I feel like I've talked about him every week since he's been back. But this week is not going to be any exception. The guy is an absolute beast. Had 190 receiving yards last week. I know San Diego's pass defense looked pretty good against the Colts last week, but now San Diego's going on the road to play Jacksonville, and Henne and Blackmon have a good rapport. I know Jacksonville is terrible, but Justin Blackmon is a very, very good athlete and just a quality player, and he's going to have a good game regardless of the score. Ruben Randall can be had for $8,800. His Giants are hosting the Minnesota Vikings on Monday night. Randall is very quick off the edge and a very good slot receiver. I like all the Giants receivers in this game, but I like Randall the best just because I don't think the Vikings have somebody that can cover him. Keenan Allen can be had for $7,000. Allen has had 2 primetime games in a row, and he's looked absolutely fabulous. He's their number 1 receiver, no doubt about it now. Rivers loves him. Look for a shootout in Jacksonville, San Diego coming to town. $7,000, that's a great price for Keenan Allen because that's going to go up next week. I guarantee you that's going to go up. Some other receivers I like. Mike Wallace, $6,900. Dolphins are hosting the depleted Bills. Stevie Johnson can be had for $6,800. I think Stevie Johnson this is the team that in the Dolphins that know Steve Johnson, and he's good. But he's good. He also knows them, and he's going to know how ways to get open for his inexperienced quarterback Thad Lewis. I also like Riley Cooper this week, $5,800. Cooper's had his issues off the field, but you know what? He had a good game last week, and he has a good rapport with Nick Foles. Foles and Cooper, as backups lined up with each other in practice, and they have really built something. And anything that's going to keep distractions away from Deshaun Jackson is good for the Eagles' offense, and that's going to be good news for Riley Cooper as well. Jordan Reed is my dark horse tight end of the week. He can be had for $5,500. He's a Washington Redskins tight end. He's pretty much making Fred Davis obsolete, and I think he's going to be a good player going forward, and I really like the Redskins this week. I don't think they're going to beat the Chicago Bears, but I think you're going to see a lot of points scored in this game, and Jordan Reed is going to be a big part of this Washington offense. The Kansas City defense is a little pricey at $13,100, but they're playing Houston. Who knows who's going to be the Houston quarterback? And this defense is amazing. Obviously, their game last week with the Raiders was a little closer than the score indicated, but this might be the best defense in football. And for you to get them at that cheaper price like that, that is awesome. I know it's not cheap, but it's still a very good price at $13,100. They're in Kansas City. Houston's got all kinds of problems right now. That is good news for you, and that's the reason you need to take him. Some people I don't like, the Indy defense. $14,000 at home. They're playing Peyton Manning. Why would you start any defense against Peyton Manning, huh? Honestly, why would you ever want to do that? Matt Ryan, $16,800. This is another depleted team. The Falcons are just in total disarray. And Ryan at $16,000 is just way too much money. That's why I said Bradford at $14,000. Adrian Peterson, $15,600. This Vikings team is terrible. They have quarterback issues. There's nobody to take distractions away from him right now. Their best player besides Peterson last week was probably Kyle Rudolph, but they still got half the quarterback to get him the ball downfield. So, yeah, don't stay away from AP this week and maybe the next couple weeks until they get something established in Minnesota. Calvin Johnson is another stud that I don't like at all. $15,200. Remember, guys, this is a daily league. You don't have to start the studs. Stay away from Calvin Johnson. He is not fully healthy. I know he played last week, but he was more of a decoy than anything. He might get a garbage touchdown, but he's not going to have 10 receptions for 150 yards. He's going to have 3 receptions for 20 or 30 yards, maybe a touchdown. But you can do better than that. You can do cheaper than that by spending. You don't want to spend that 15 grand on Calvin Johnson. Tony Gonzalez, another guy I don't like, $12,700. Obviously, he is a top flight tight end, but there's, like I said, just so many problems in Atlanta. You just do not want to play their players, except for Steven Jackson if he's healthy. $9,400. Remember Steven Jackson if he's healthy. Roll with him. The passing game is going to have some issues though. So this has been Bargain Hunting for DraftTeam.com. I'm Joshua Johnson. Have a great weekend.